Hi YouTube, it's Kathy and I'm here to talk to you about my TBR for NetGalley November. Before we go any further, I just wanted to point out that last year a group of bloggers also did something called NetGalley November, but we didn't know about that. When we searched for it, we didn't find it. And then of course we caused a little bit of confusion when we also decided to do an event and it has different prompts than they did. So feel free to do their event, feel free to do our event, feel free to just do NetGalley things during November. Either way, it's fine with us. As you might remember, we have this board of 16 different prompts that you can choose from, or you can choose to ignore it and just read whatever's on your list. That also works. I, however, picked out a book for every single prompt on this list, with the exception of one of them, and I'll get to that. Do I think I'm going to read them all? I don't. Am I going to try anyway? Yes. Are there books on this list that could have been doubled up to other prompts? Also yes, but I would like to just put as many books out there as possible, so I picked 15, and then the 16th one you'll see why I didn't pick it. I also have all the Goodreads tabs for all the books open, so I can give you a little bit of a synopsis of each of these books. The first prompt is the oldest book on your TBR, and for that one I have picked Walking to Listen, which is a book I got way back at the beginning of getting my account, and I don't think I really understood how to get the book onto my Kindle, but eventually I did, and then I forgot all about it, as one does. Walking to Listen is a non-fiction book, so this is also my non-fiction November book for the month, because it actually fits the collection prompt very well, because this is a collection of stories from this guy just walking across America for like 4,000 miles. I'm only going to read you a small part of the synopsis. It's actually at the very end, and it says, "Ultimately, it's the stories of others living all along the roads of America that carry this journey and sing out in a hopeful, heartfelt book about how a life is made and how our nation defines itself on the most human level." This was published in 2017, and I have a feeling that if this project were done nowadays, it would be a little bit different. The next prompt is a highly anticipated book, and for this one I chose The Intimacy Experiment by Rosie Danan. I read The Roommate by Rosie Danan and absolutely loved it, and asked for this basically immediately after that, got it, and then completely forgot to read it in time for publication. That is a big thing that has happened for me, but I will eventually read all the things that I have requested. Naomi Grant has built her life around going against the grain. After a sex-positive startup she co-founded becomes an international sensation, she wants to extend her educational platform to live lecturing. Unfortunately, despite her long list of qualifications, higher ed won't hire her. This actually specifically makes me think of a channel that I've been following for a very long time and I am a very big fan of, and that's Sexplanations with Dr. Lindsay Doe. That channel is actually ending, I believe, this month because of the complication of trying to host these videos on YouTube and having them demonetized because they are sexual education. So if the complications of this book sound interesting to you, I also suggest checking out that channel. There are hundreds of videos and they are very informative. Next for debut author, one that I'm also highly anticipating, is Iron Widow. The boys of Hassa dream of pairing up with the girls to pilot Chrysales, giant transforming robots that can battle the mecha aliens that lurk beyond the Great Wall. It doesn't matter that the girls often die from the mental strain. Honestly, between that and the fact that I know that this has been on the bestseller list since it came out, just very excited to read it. This author also has a fantastic YouTube channel, which I will try to remember to link down below. Our next prompt is an author of color, and for this one I've chosen The Death of Vivek Oji by Akwaeke Emezi. Raised by a distant father and an understanding but overprotective mother, Vivek suffers disorienting blackouts, moments of disconnection between self and surroundings. As adolescence gives way to adulthood, Vivek finds solace in friendships with warm, boisterous daughters of the Niger wives, foreign-born women married to Nigerian men. I've also read Freshwater by this author and very much enjoyed the writing, so I'm looking forward to this newer release. The fifth prompt is to buddy read an arc, and this is the one that I haven't picked what to buddy read because I don't know who I want to buddy read with. So if there's anything on this list that you're also planning to read for NetGalley November, let me know and maybe we can buddy read it. Next we have a book in a series, and for that I've chosen Deal with the Devil by Kit Rocha. This is actually the first in a series. I think I also have the second one. Whoops. But this is right up my alley because the series name is Mercenary Librarians. Nina is an information broker with a mission. She and her team of mercenary librarians use their knowledge to save the helpless in a crumbling America. Knox is a bitter, battle-weary captain of the Silver Devils. His squad of super soldiers went AWOL to avoid slaughtering innocents, and now he's fighting to survive. They're on a deadly collision course, and the passion that flares between the two of them makes it dangerous. They could burn down the world, destroying each other in the process. Or they could do the impossible, team up. This is the first book in a near-future science fiction series with elements of romance. The next prompt is to read an audiobook. You can either do this via their audiobook app, because they do have a few audiobooks you can get through NetGalley, or a book that's already come out and you can get the audiobook from your library or from somewhere else as a way to just kind of get that book in that you should have already read. For me, I actually picked up this NetGalley copy of the audiobook because Jess Owens really loved this book and was surprised that nobody else had really been talking about it at that point to her knowledge, so I figured I would also pick it up. It is called Sweet Hand by N.G. Peltier, and it's the first in a series called Island Bites. After her public meltdown over her breakup from her cheating musician boyfriend, Cherise swore off guys in the music industry and dating in general for a while, preferring to focus on her growing pastry chef business. From there, it turns out that her little sister is getting married and her mom wants to keep putting her on dates, and then she sets her up with this guy and he is really super annoying, but they're like trapped on this island together, and I think it's a hate to love romance. This is definitely a romance, so I'm just assuming here. Our next prompt is a book that is already published, and haha, that's most of these, but the one I chose for this is The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. I really enjoyed the duology of Empire of Sand and Realm of Ash. I actually read them in opposite of publication order because a friend of mine told me that you could probably do that and it would be fine, and just wanted to know what I thought, and that was accurate. You can read them in either order, it's fine. However, this is a new trilogy set in a world inspired by the epics and the history of India. In this, there's a captive prince and a maidservant, and they both have magic that they shouldn't have, and that's honestly all I need to know. I didn't even finish reading that sentence. I went, yes, I want to read this. Our next prompt is a 2022 release. This one comes out in February and it's called Such a Pretty Smile. A biting novel from an electric new voice, Such a Pretty Smile is a heart-stopping tour de force about powerful women, angry men, and all the ways in which girls fight against the forces that try to silence them. Honestly, that's all I need to know. Just reading the title, I was just like, this is gonna be one of those books where men just decide that they should tell women what to do with their faces, and I hate that so much. This is also shelved as horror, mystery, and thriller, so I'm excited to see that element of it. Next we have an author you've read before, and I've actually read this author from NetGalley before. The author is Lindsay Ellis. The book in question is Truth of the Divine, which is the follow-up to Axiom's End. Axiom's End takes place in 2007, and it's a first contact story, and it centers around this girl named Cora who doesn't have a great relationship with her father because he left the country so he could run this blog that just blows up conspiracy theories, and a lot of people love him and a lot of people hate him, which has had quite an impact on her family. And then aliens show up. Since this one is the second in the series, I'm not going to read a synopsis for you. The next prompt is a book you requested because of the cover, and I requested We Are Lost and Found for exactly that reason. It's really pretty and intriguing, and it has so many people on the cover, which I probably low-key thought would be really helpful for one of those prompts of a read-a-thon where it's like, read a book with more than 2 people on the cover. A poignant, heartbreaking, and uplifting story in the tradition of Perks of Being a Wallflower, which I've never read, somebody tell me if it's worth my time, about 3 friends coming of age in the early 1980s as they struggle to forge their own paths in the face of fear of the unknown. I like coming-of-age stories, I like an 80s setting, I think I'm gonna like this. Next we have a hyped book, and for this one I chose Under the Whispering Door by T.J. Klune. I actually, until this moment, when I read the first sentence of the synopsis, knew nothing about this. I just knew that I really enjoyed the 2 T.J. Klune books I've read in the past, so I asked for this one and received it. The one sentence I'm going to read you, because I don't want to know any more, I just like this premise, is, when a reaper comes to collect Wallace Price from his own funeral, Wallace suspects he might really be dead. I think this is going to be more of queer, whimsical, dark fiction, and I enjoy that. Next was to pick an arc using a random number generator. I did this. I had to put in the 112 arcs that I currently had. I got the number 70, which was the Paris Library. I just really like bibliophilic books, which is why I asked for this, and that's all I want to know going into it. I think it might be historical fiction. In fact, yes, it is historical fiction set during the Second World War, and now that's all I will know going into it. Next is a character you relate to, and for this one I chose If This Gets Out by Sophie Gonzalez and Cale Dietrich. Just based on the colors of this cover and the little bit of the synopsis I know, I'm pretty sure that one of the main characters is going to be bi, I am bi, and that's what I assume I'm going to relate to with this book. book. 18-year-olds Ruben Monteith and Zach Knight are two members of a boy band Saturday, one of the biggest acts in America. Along with their bandmates, the four are teen heartbreakers in front of the cameras and best friends backstage. But privately, cracks are starting to form. Their once easy rapport is straining under the pressures of fame, and Ruben confides in Zach that he's feeling smothered by management's pressure to stay in the closet. From there, they're gonna go on a tour of Europe, and I'm jealous because I really miss Europe. So I feel like I'm definitely going to enjoy this one. The next prompt is a read now book, and for this I've chosen Nothing But Blackened Teeth. This one looks creepy and scary, and originally I was going to pick it up for October, and then my list for October was just so long that I was like, you know what? This one I can actually put off for the month because I need something for this prompt. All I know about this one, and this is a direct quote, is it is a gorgeous, creepy, haunted house tale steeped in Japanese folklore and full of devastating twists. And as you probably know about me by this point, that's all I need to know. The final prompt is a book you started but didn't finish, and usually if I start one, I continue reading it. Sometimes I'll open them and the formatting won't quite work, and I'll return them basically saying I can't review this because I literally can't read it. I know at some point I opened this book, didn't really actually start reading it. I think I just made sure that I could actually read it, so that's how I've decided to use it. Also, I just wanted to read this. It's called Unscripted. 17-year-old Zelda Bailey Chow has her future all planned out. Improv camp, then the Second City, and finally Saturday Night Live. She's thrilled when she lands a spot on the coveted varsity team at prestigious improv camp, which means she'll get to perform for professional scouts, including her hero, Nina Knightley. But even though she's hardworking and talented, Zelda's the only girl in varsity, so she's the target for humiliation from her teammates. And her 20-year-old coach, Ben, is cruel to her in practice and way too nice to her when they're alone. Zelda wants to fight back, but is sacrificing her best chance at her dream too heavy a price to pay. The thing I love about books that include power imbalances and fighting back about them is because we have it so ingrained into our society that we just don't speak up when people are taking advantage of these power imbalances. We're just supposed to keep going on with our lives and try to ignore it and that type of thing, and that's a horrible thing to have happen. So I love books like this that actually will probably, I haven't read it yet obviously, so I don't know, talk about actually putting boundaries out there and speaking up when people are doing things they shouldn't be doing. Also, I was a theater kid growing up, and even though improv wasn't my thing, I have heard similar complaints from women in the improv spaces over and over and over again, which is why I think that this is a very important book. There we have it. Those are the 15 books I'm going to try to read during NetGalley November. How about you? Do you know what your TBR is? Let me know about it down in the comments below. On the way down to the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. If you don't feel like leaving a comment but want to make sure that I know you were here, just leave me an emoji or a smiley face if you happen to be on your keyboard. Some people have asked if there's a way to financially support this channel, so I set up a Ko-fi account, which is a digital tipping service. The link for that is down below, as well as a link to my PayPal and my Amazon wishlist in case you would like to buy me a book. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you very soon. Bye!